NTRO, growing older is part of life. But knowing when someone may be nearing the end is something we often miss until it's too late. Sometimes the body gives signs. Quiet ones, physical ones, emotional ones. This video is not meant to scare you, but to help you notice. Because when you understand the signs, you can spend more time with the people you love. You can hold their hand a little longer. You can say what you've been holding back. You can show up before goodbye. Today, we'll explore 8 warning signs that may suggest an elderly person is in their final year of life. These signs are based on clinical experience, palliative care reports, and what families around the world have witnessed. Let's begin. One of the earliest and most noticeable signs is weight loss, especially when it's not planned or intentional. You might see their clothes becoming looser. Their face might look thinner. Their bones more visible. This isn't just about a smaller appetite. It's often the result of changes happening deep inside the body. The digestive system slows down. The sense of taste weakens. Even chewing and swallowing can become tiring. Even foods they've loved for years suddenly have no taste. This ongoing reduction in appetite, paired with steady weight loss, is a common sign that the body is preparing to conserve its energy for only the most essential functions. Another common change is excessive sleep. You may notice that your loved one is sleeping most of the day. What used to be an afternoon nap becomes a full morning and afternoon of deep sleep. They may wake up, sit for a short time, then doze off again in their chair. Even simple conversations may leave them drained. Their body is simply doing what it needs to survive, and eventually to let go. It's not unusual for an elderly person nearing the end of life to sleep up to 18 to 20 hours a day. That kind of fatigue is not fixed by rest, it's caused by the body slowly shutting down. Let them sleep, and cherish the time when they are awake. You may start noticing that your loved one stops reaching out. They stop calling family. They no longer want to join meals at the table. They become quiet, reserved, even in the presence of people they love. This emotional withdrawal is often subtle. They might stop showing interest in news, television, or their usual hobbies. Their responses become shorter, their smiles less frequent. Some may even speak as if they are preparing for goodbye. More often, it's the soul's way of preparing for departure. They are not rejecting you. They are turning inward. In their final year, silence becomes their way of expressing peace, and sometimes pain. You'll start noticing that even basic tasks, like brushing hair, eating, standing up, or walking a few steps, become difficult. They may need help getting out of bed or using the bathroom. Even sitting up for long periods can be tiring. Muscle loss becomes visible. Hands tremble. The pace of movement slows dramatically. If your loved one was once active and independent, this change can be painful to witness. But this physical decline is part of the closing chapter. Support them with love and patience. Celebrate their small victories. Help them feel dignity even as they lose independence. One serious but often overlooked sign is a pattern of recurring illness. Your loved one may get frequent infections or unexplained fevers. Each time, the recovery gets harder. Hospital visits may increase. Antibiotics seem to help less. Doctors might start using terms like comfort care or palliative care. That doesn't mean giving up. It means focusing on peace instead of procedures. When the body begins failing to recover from simple illnesses, it's often a sign that the immune system is shutting down. That's when families must begin preparing emotionally. Your loved one may eat less and less. They may say they're full after a few bites, or have trouble swallowing food or water. Chewing becomes tiring. Sometimes they let food sit in their mouth without swallowing. This is because the body no longer needs much fuel. Forcing food can make them uncomfortable or cause choking. Let them eat small, soft meals they enjoy, even if it's just 1 spoon. You might also notice their hands and feet getting cold. Their skin may look pale, yellow, or even bluish. These signs are the body's way of shutting down. They are not in pain, but they are preparing to let go. Toward the end, breathing may change. You may hear long pauses, gasping, or shallow breaths. This is common and often known as the death rattle. It may sound scary, but it's not painful. It's a natural part of the process. These signs are not a death sentence. They are invitations to spend time, speak gently, and love without condition. Use this time to say what matters. Forgive, listen, be present. The final year of life is not about dying. It's about living well until the last breath. And often, the most powerful gift we can give is simply to be there. In their final months or year, some elderly people begin to ignore their appearance and personal hygiene. They might wear the same clothes for days, refuse to take a bath, or stop brushing their hair and teeth. This change is often shocking, especially if they used to be very clean and well-groomed. At first, you may think it's depression or forgetfulness, but often, it's a sign of emotional and mental detachment from the outside world. Things that once mattered, how they look, how they smell, how others see them, no longer seem important. It may feel painful to witness, but this change is usually not about giving up. It's about letting go. Offer help with kindness, but avoid forcing routines. They are entering a quieter, more inward part of life where comfort matters more than appearance. As the body weakens, many elderly people begin to lose control over their bladder or bowels. You may notice them having frequent accidents, even if they were fully independent before. This isn't laziness. It's a physical sign that their muscles, nerves, and organs are no longer working the way they used to. Sometimes they may not realize they've soiled themselves. Other times they may feel ashamed and try to hide it. This growing incontinence can also cause fear. Many elders begin avoiding food or drink just to avoid an accident. If you notice this happening, it's important to handle it with care, patience, and love. Never shame them. Offer assistance gently. Help them keep their dignity. This change often means the body is declining further than we want to admit, and it needs more compassion, not correction.
Sometimes in their final year, elderly people begin to talk about death or mention loved ones who've passed. They might say things like, "I think my time is near," or "they're waiting for me." Some describe dreams or visions of people long gone. This isn't confusion. It's often a peaceful sign of acceptance. Many families are surprised, but it's more common than you think. Don't interrupt. Don't correct them. Just listen. They may be sharing something deeply personal and sacred. These moments often bring them comfort and can prepare you too. In their final months, you may notice your loved one growing quieter. Long silences become more common. They may stare into space, stop responding much, or simply sit without words. This stillness isn't empty, it's reflection. A gentle withdrawal from the world. They may not speak, but their presence says everything. In these quiet moments, your silence becomes the gift. You don't need to fill the space. Just be there. That alone means more than words ever could. Growing older is part of life, but knowing when someone may be nearing the end is something we often miss until it's too late. Sometimes the body gives signs. Quiet ones, physical ones, emotional ones. This video is not meant to scare you, but to help you notice. Because when you understand the signs, you can spend more time with the people you love. You can hold their hand a little longer. You can say what you've been holding back. You can show up before goodbye. Today, we'll explore 8 warning signs that may suggest an elderly person is in their final year of life. These signs are based on clinical experience, palliative care reports, and what families around the world have witnessed. Let's begin.